Hi guys, welcome back to your Not So Ordinary Scrapbook channel. Um, Hopefully this video is not too dark. The power outlet that I bought at from Amazon for some reason is not working. So my outlet, I tried plugging it into the power outlet and it's, for some reason, I don't know, it just doesn't work. So we are going to do our best doing what we need to do. So what I want to do, first of all, I guess before I get started, I wanted to show you my postcard from Morgan that I got in the mail today. And I'm going to put it in my December daily stash anyway, because I just love her. Morgan Long. She is a part of my page, or I'm a part of her Patreon, I should say. And she's an artist. And is that not the cutest postcard? So cute. It's a snow globe. And then it's a city. The sticker is the city, which is so cute. So these are definitely going in my December daily stash. I may just punch a hole in this and use it as a page. I'm not sure. It might be like the first one actually. And then I want to try stamping. I did brush this off. I do like it a lot better than I did when it was covered with glitter. It is dry now. And I don't think this is going to flake off. It doesn't seem like it's going to flake off. So, but I do want to decorate this a little bit more, I think. And one of the things I want to use are, these are from Close to My Heart. And I'm going to use these snowflake stamps in the same green. And I'm going to stamp using the 3 different sizes. So there's this snowflake, this larger snowflake, this smaller snowflake, and then there's a medium-sized snowflake. And that's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to randomly stamp around the page. So I think I'm going to start with the largest snowflake first. Put it on my block. I think this block is big enough. I'm not sure. I may need to get a bigger block. It's close. I think it'll be okay. Okay. We're going to try it anyway. And then I don't think I'm going to need a foam sheet because this is hard. And I want to use this ink, of course. Now I saw something on Pinterest. I don't know how well it's going to work, so we're just going to try it out. You put the ink on a baby wipe, and I don't know if it is supposed to give you a darker color or what it's supposed to do, but we're going to try it. I think all these baby wipes are gone. Okay, so hopefully you can see this okay, and we're going to try this. We're experimenting here. I'm going to put the green on the baby white. Get it all over. Apparently you can use more than one color and then it makes like a rainbow color if you stamp on the baby wipe too, but we're just using one color today. Okay, so just gonna get it all over. Snowflake stamp. And I'm hoping this is just gonna be a very subtle, like, I think I'm gonna put this, start it out in the middle, press it down. See what it looks like. And You can see it. It's barely there though. Can you see it? Do I like it? I'm almost opting for a darker green. I don't know. Let me try one more and see. It's not going to show up very much. I don't know. It's not really showing up too much, is it? Okay. So I don't think this is going to work. So we're just going to throw that away. Let's try this darker green. So I'm going to use a booper this time. And I'm not even going to wash off the stamp, I don't think. I'm going to use this dark tree green. And we're going to try that to stamp on top. Now, one of these pads works better than the other, so we're just going to see which one that is and see if this works better. Okay, let's try that. See if that works. I wanted to show up, but oh, I like that. What do you think of that? Much better. I like that much better. Yay. Okay. Success. So I feel like I've accomplished a lot today. I feel like my exercise this morning kicked my butt though. I increased my weights to 75 from 60, and I did that. That was like my goal after the new year, was to do that. And it's not really that much harder, but man, afterwards I am like wiped out. Like, I came home and I'm like, I felt like I was gonna throw up. So I was like, well, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. Before I had errands to run, but I was like, I gotta lay down. Like, that's the first thought that got in my head was, I gotta lay down. I didn't even take off my shoes. And I don't like shoes on the bed, so I was like laying on the bed, like with my feet off the bed, because we have a white duvet on our bed. So I'm laying like with my feet off the bed. So it's kind of funny. But I laid down for like 15 minutes, and then I felt like okay enough to like get a cup of coffee in me. And then I had to call a couple places, because for some reason Walgreens, they filled my one prescription, but my other prescriptions, they said have expired. So I had to call the doctor and get that like just renewed. So I had to do that, and then I had to call a couple other places, and then so I did that, and then we had to run and pick up one prescription that was ready, and I had to address and get the package ready to mail to Matt and Yessie. And then our Christmas cards, which were already addressed, I just hadn't mailed them yet. So we went to the post office, did that, went to Walgreens, got the prescriptions. And then I had a gift card from Starbucks. So we went through Starbucks, got that. And that was pretty much the extent of our errands. We didn't go anywhere else. And then we got home, and Ethan had some work he had to do for homeschooling, so that he needed my help with. So I helped him until it's time for him to get ready for work. And then I think I watched tonight for dinner, I was, this morning when I was exercising, I was watching Allison on YouTube. And for dinner, she was going to have sweet potatoes and black bean, like chimichurri bowls. And I was like, oh, that sounds good. I have sweet potatoes and I have black beans, and I'll make that. So, but I hadn't gotten to the part of the video where it showed how she made it. So I sat down and I finished that video so I could see how she made it. And then I sat and I watched Shmalane, her YouTube video of Best of Both Worlds kit, because as you know, one of my plans after December Daily is to use her sketches to do like a series using her sketches, which will my layouts will be nothing like her layouts, simply because different supplies, different pictures, and because it's not a copy or like a scrap lift of her layouts, it's just a sketch. It should make things go faster. So my hope is to scrapbook a lot more this year with the same amount. I mean, I don't have any more time than I had last year at this time because I'm working the same job, but I have but I will have a sketch to go by, and I think that it'll help me be able to get my scrapbook, be able to produce more layouts in the same amount of time. That's what I mean. So that's my goal anyway. But she had a new sketch today, so I needed to draw that sketch in my notebook. So, and I'll tell you, like, when I do that series, I'll tell you like what month the sketch comes from in her videos. So like, if after you watch my video, if you want to check out her video, and I'll link it as well, like in the description box, I'll link her channel, which most of you probably already have her channel because she's been around a lot longer than I have. So, and she's, she has products for sale, and she's kind of one of those famous scrapbookers out there. So she has her own line of products. So, but I do like the way she scrapbooks, and I use some of her products, and I do like her layouts. I like her layering technique, and I like the way that she creates her sketches too. They're easy to follow and reproduce. So, and you can use them over and over again too. It's not like you use it once and then you don't want to use it again. They're very versatile, and they're not like too difficult. the ones that, and they're not too time consuming. Like, if there is any stitching at all, it's very little. I happen to have a stitching stamp from Close to My Heart that looks like stitching, but it's actually a stamp that I want to use this year. Just because I think that will work this, you know, pretty well. So I like to go off of the edge of these just because it just makes the design work a little bit better. Just seems more cohesive that way. So I got news this weekend. We had Esmeralda over, and Minnie J spent the night, Saturday night, and we are going to be grandparents again. Hunter and Jordan are expecting. They just found out on New Year's Eve that they were expecting. They didn't tell me until this weekend, though. I think they wanted, like, the shock of Esme, like, having Esme at our house, you know, like, to wear off a little bit by the time they announced it. But she surprised me. She said, when they were coming over, she said that Minnie Jordan had a gift for me. It was just a little tiny gift. And I said, oh, he does? Okay. You know, I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was probably something he made at school, because he's always making me stuff at school, and then I don't know if that's gonna work because this is covered in ink. Ew. I should have went and got new wipes since that was the last one. Wow, this is getting messy. Okay. It's okay. Just gonna wipe this off a little bit. No need for panic. All right. Try not to get... I have wipes in here, but they're all dried out. I should just add water to them. That's what happens when you, like, put stuff in your scrapbooking stash, even though I keep it in a baggie. But they dry out, like, if they've been in here for any amount of time. They dry out. Okay, so I'm going to move this over here because I don't want to put my arm in it. And being me, I probably will. Okay, so we're going to go do the medium size now. Medium size stamp now. I'm liking how this looks, though. It's giving it more of a design element that I like. So it was kind of plain before. So they got here and we're sitting on the floor. All of us were kind of sitting on the floor talking, and Jordan says, yeah, Minnie Jordan has a gift for you. And I'm like, he does? And she was holding something, and it didn't register what it was at first. It was a pregnancy test, but it didn't register what it was. And I said, oh yeah? I said, would you get me Minnie Jordan? Or I usually call him like Minnie J. I go, would you give me Minnie J? And she handed me the stick. And, you know, it was one of those new ones that just say pregnant, you know. And it said pregnant. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, I'm excited. Gonna be a grandma again. So, and they are getting married, so they're not married yet, but they are. They're engaged, so we won't have the same problem with the situation. A totally different girl too, and I love Jordan like she's my own daughter. I can't say the same about the first, even though I love Esmeralda with all my heart. You know, I just, that whole situation, Esmeralda was planned, but not planned by Hunter. Let's just put it that way. I'm pretty sure this baby was planned as well. Hunter is the middle child, and he is the most laid back, easygoing kid, never caused any problems. You know, but he does kind of like to run his own life, and he is a grown up. So, I mean, he does make decisions that I question sometimes, and he doesn't always do what I would like him to do, but he takes care of his own stuff. I mean, he has a job, he pays his own bills, he has his own house. I mean, it's not up for me to micromanage. So they obviously wanted a baby. So and Kason might be going home to his bio mom anyway. So it's like, you know, it's funny. Yesterday was Kason's first birthday party. We had it at Monocle's Pizza, and I took a picture of their family, and Jordan's face looked different. And I told Scott, I said, you can tell she's pregnant. I wouldn't have noticed it had they not told me, but her face looks different. And I don't remember my face looking different, but I guess it did. She had a glow, kind of, you know, the pregnancy glow type thing. She had that. I should point it out to her that she looks different. I mean, she looks beautiful, of course, but. Okay, so that's the back. And then I'm going to go in with the smaller one. So we're excited. Scott's excited. Grandma's excited. They haven't told my mom and dad yet. They will. They're coming to visit to meet Esmeralda. I'm sure they'll tell them when they get here. But my parents are different. They are a little bit more judgmental. I lived a very sheltered life as a child, kind of. So, and everything was very, I don't know how to say it. Everything was cut and dry. Everything was black and white. So I'm guessing, Hunter already told Grandma Barb, but I'm guessing that he's waiting to tell Nani and Papa in person. I don't think they'll be upset. I think that there's enough grandchildren by now that have had kids or have gotten pregnant that that it's not that big of a deal. And then, you know, there's my brother who kind of just, you know, I think he's changed a lot of, like, with his lifestyle. It's opened their mind a little bit more. But I don't know. I think that there's still that fear. I still feel that fear toward my parents too. I don't know why, you know, you're a grown up, but you still have that, like, back then, like when I was a kid, it was like kids just, not that my parents were abusive, because they weren't, but man, I was afraid of my parents. I was afraid of like disrespecting my dad, or you know, getting in trouble, or so I just tried like not to ever get in trouble, you know? I mean, not that I never did anything wrong. I did, but like if I did do something wrong, I sure as heck tried to hide it. I didn't go to them and talk to them about it. Whereas my kids generally will talk to me about their problems for the most part, or they'll come to me for advice. I never went to my parents for advice. Not because I didn't respect their advice, it's that I was afraid of what they'd say. Like, I was afraid they would say, oh, you disappoint me. Oh, you know. I don't know. You know, it was a different time. And I've told my parents that before. I'm like, I don't blame you, like, for parenting me the way you did, or parenting, you know, I know that I was a guinea pig. I was the oldest. But still, it's like, I don't blame them, because that's how it was back then. You know, it was people, I mean, that's how Parenting Magazine probably told people to parent, you know. We've evolved a lot since then. I think parents are better now than they were before. Or I hope they're better. Maybe in a way they're better, but I think probably because of like technology and our phones and stuff, they're probably more neglectful than they were back then. But I think we also allow our children to experience things, some things more freely, like investigate answers instead of, or try to figure out their own answer to problems. I think that we do that better now than back then. But I think that we're almost overprotective in a way. You know, everything is dangerous, or, you know, somewhat, I feel like kids are not able to just experience things and be kids anymore. You know, nowadays, if a child breaks their leg or breaks her arm or whatever, and you take her to the doctor, they want to know exactly what happened. You know, is it a result of abuse? No, you know, they fell off the slide. You know, it's just, everything is investigated now. Whereas, you know, when I was a kid, if you broke your leg or you broke your arm or whatever, they just cast you up and send you home. It wasn't really anything, you know. It was just kids break bones, you know. I don't know. I know my sister's, one of her sons, he was a baby, and he was in the nursery at church, and something happened. No one really knows exactly what happened, because they were in church, and their son, my nephew, was in the nursery, and they picked him up from the nursery. We think somebody dropped him, because they got home from church and his skull was like swollen. And so they took him to the ER, and they didn't know what was going on. And they did like an x-ray and stuff, and they accused my sister and her husband of abusing him. Like, it was, and they said this happened at church. This had to have happened. He was fine when we brought him into the nursery, and so they tried to get to the bottom of it in the nursery, and no one came forward. I mean, nothing was ever done about it. Like, he's an adult now. He's 30 years old now. But it was scary at the time because he had bleeding on the brain and they didn't know what had happened. Or fluid on the brain. I don't think it was bleeding, it was fluid. But they had kids helping in the nursery at their church, and they think that, like, one of the kids, you would think that there'd be an adult in there that could, like, verify, like, watch if a child picked up, you know, a baby and dropped it or whatever, banged their head, or you would think, but you just never know. It was a long time ago, but, you know, same thing with Hunter when Bobby hit him in the head with a baseball bat, or in the face with a baseball bat, or baseball, not baseball bat, baseball. And the pediatrician was like wondering what happened to his face, and I said, I have no idea, because it happened at Grandma's house when I was at work. It's just very, I mean, things happen. I didn't notice because I didn't realize there was a bruise on his face. It was so light, but the pediatrician knows what to look for. So she was like, well, don't you see it? And I'm like, no. But Hunter was able to talk because he was like 3 at the time when that happened. And he's like, Bobby hit me with a baseball. And I'm like, oh. And then she's like, looking at me like, who's Bobby? And I was like, well, Bobby has special needs. If he hit him with the baseball, it wasn't intentional. It was on accident. And so it's like, if you want to investigate Bobby, go investigate Bobby. But he does not understand. He would not understand. It'd probably cause more trauma for Bobby to be questioned than it caused Hunter in the first place. And I have ink all over my fingers again. That's okay. It washed off pretty well over the weekend, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so I really like how that turned out. I was gonna hot glue those little snowmen on there, but I don't know where I put my glue gun. I swear I remember putting it in a drawer, like organizing it when I organized my office. And I put it with the glue sticks, everything, you know, how it's supposed to be, like organized. And I don't remember where I put it. Because I looked in the place that I thought it was going to be in, and it wasn't. So, before I can glue those little critters on, I think, so it's going to be like, it's going to look like this. And that is really cute. I really like the snow. I really like how the snowflakes adds to it. I like the cover now. So I wasn't too crazy about it before, but I really like it now. So, and I might put like some little jemmies, like tiny jemmies, like on the tree, like Christmas tree jemmies, like Christmas lights. So I might do that. I was going to plug in my my selfie into that outlet that I bought, but if it doesn't work, I'm gonna have to send it back to Amazon and get a new one or a refund or something, because I want to see if it's just my outlight, if my outlight is like burnt out. Like this, I've never changed the bulb in my outlight before, so I plugged it in and it didn't work. So I'm wondering if the light bulb is burnt out, but I need to plug something else in there and see if it works, and see if it's just my outlight that there's something wrong with. But I'm gonna just have to play around with that. But I think I am going to stop for now, go wash my hands, clean up my stamps and pick up and all that stuff, put my stamps away, and then I'm going to make dinner, and then I have to fold clothes, and then I have to work for about 2 hours tonight, and I'm going to look some more for I'm gonna look for the glue gun, the hot glue gun, and I am going to also find the rings that I'm going to use for this, because I'm going to want to put my book together before I even get started on it. I want to put the album together, and then I need to test out that outlet and see if it's the outlet, or if it's just if there's nothing wrong with the outlet and it's just my light. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll have time to come back and with all the supplies that I need and get working on all this stuff. So and then we can start on the pages. So, but anyway, I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good week, and I will see you next time here on my channel. Bye.